Hello and welcome to Amby Marie Knits, episode 37. My name is Amber. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Amby Marie Knits. Today is January 26th, 2024. Almost done with this month. It's been going by pretty fast, really, I feel like. I am a YouTube channel that usually talks about yarn, although sometimes I sew. Not so much. Actually, I have sewing planned for this weekend, but nothing to show today. I have mostly knitting, a little bit of crochet. So we're going to go ahead and jump in and start with my finished objects. My first finished object I'm going to show is actually something I made last Friday after I recorded. So the Love and Stitches membership is doing the Doodle Cow, and I made a little doodle. I don't know if I showed this last week or not. I really need to rewatch my videos before I do the next one. But this is just like a cup cozy pattern from Pacific Knit Coast, Jamie Lomax. And I did the ghosts, and it just goes over your cup. I just wanted to test out a doodle pattern. The yarn I used here is Pretty Twisted Yarns in the colorway Pinky Promise and Don't Fear the Reaper in Tinsel Decay. I don't think she has that at the moment. But it was fun. I really am going to make, I think I might make one of the doodle stockings, but I'm going to use one of the Halloween type fall cowl patterns I have, because I have multiple. Jamie Lomax has so many different doodle designs, and I got my leftovers of my Soldotna, and I've got, like, I think I can make it Halloween. I don't know. We'll see. That should be for future knitting. I got sidetracked. Let's go back to finished objects. The next finished object to show, I have not washed this yet to block it, so I haven't quite trimmed off all the ends, but this is the Gramps Cardigan by Tin Can Knits. Look, it's got little elbow patches. How cute is this? Yarn, Knit Picks Brava, Asphalt Heather, loops and threads, impeccable in whatever color that is. So this is the first one done from one of my friends who has twins. It's going to be way too big for them. The boys aren't even two, but whatever, they'll grow into it. So there's that. Next finished object is a Harlo Hat. Okay, so this is a sample for Andy the Knitress. She has a yarn store, the Naughty Knitress. If you're anywhere near Roseburg, Oregon, soon you will be able to see this in person. So this is the Harlo Hat by Andrea Mowry. Yarns used, self-title by Hearing Color Dye Works. That's Andy's husband. And for the wrong side color, it is Midnight Skies by Always Be Kind Yarn. Now, I don't know what happened. Gauge is technically a thing, but this hat's ginormous. Still wearable. It's a cool thing about hats. Even if they're too big, they're still gonna keep your head warm. Actually, that doesn't look awful, I guess, with the brim rolled up. But yep, this is going to be going off to Andy soon. I also have a cowl that I made that's in the same color, so that's it for finished objects. Next up, we're going to talk about whips. And the first whip, I never do this. This is so rare when this happens. I'm mid-row. But we're human, it happens. So this is the next Gramps Cardigan in Brava Asphalt Heather, and then the trim's going to be in this green and the loops and threads. So I'm on the body. I probably only got just a few more inches before I can start the ribbing, so I'm getting there on this. It is in a bag by Black Pearl Magic. I got that in a swap. So that one's coming along nicely. The only other whip I have at this exact moment is that granny blanket I'm making. And it's just a baby blanket. It is just a giant granny square that I'm using with this leftover Lion Brand mandala in the colorway Gnome. We're here. I got a little bit done. So part of this is also I switched. So I started just making it, and I was using my normal, I think, size 5mm hook, just a regular boy hook that I usually use. But I'm trying to expand, so I got one of the Clover hooks from Joann. They did not have a 5mm. This is a 5.5, and I'm like, you know what? It's fine. It's a baby blanket. So I've been using it, And I don't work on it very often. Pretty much when I'm like, I take it with me to work, and if I get to a point in my other project that I can't work and knit, then I'll pull this out because mindless. Okay, that is all of my whips. Next up, we're going to go into some future cast-ons. Some of these will be sooner rather than later. Notice I don't have any socks on the needles. I don't have any like portable knitting. So, in my Princess Bride bag by Slip Stitch Studios, I am going to start a pair of socks. I actually tried to start them, but I had a problem. I had some yarn barf going on, so I'm probably going to put this into a cake before I get started. But then I'm going to just make a pair of socks out of this. So this is some Felici, and this is the colorway Zen. And I do my socks on, sorry, I got that frog in my throat this morning. I do my socks usually magic loop, size 1 needles. That is 2.25 millimeter. I vary between toe up and top down. I like them both. It just depends what mood I'm in. So that's that for future cast-ons. And then my other future cast-on I'm really excited about. Oh, I have 2 future cast-ons to talk about. Okay, so we're going to go with this one first. So my birthday's next month, and so is my friend Nicole, that's Switching Knitting Mama. We decided to do a birthday cast-on together. So in February, we are going to make the Eyelet Burst Shawl by Stephen West. And it's a 4 skein, kind of faded shawl, just garter, and it'll be fun and comfy. So I was trying to figure out what yarn to use. I figured it out. So I tried to do the mystery knit along, the MCal. It's like, I'm just not going to do this. But I dyed up a really awesome color for it. I was trying to see if I can get these all. Let's see. There we go. So these are what I have. So this makes a great fade. Simple as that. So I'm going to do this. We're going to start that on the 1st, which I think is Thursday. So you'll be able to see what I've got done next week. And then the other cast on, probably going to do tonight, Stephen West, it kind of like revamped the Vertices Unite shawl. Let me go grab that. I'm back. So the Vertices Unite shawl is patterned by Stephen West. I knit this I finished it July of 21. I know because I actually looked up to see when I made it. And this was kind of like really early in my foray into hand-dyed yarns. Now I have way too much. But it was one of my first projects, like using a whole bunch of them. So it's 5-color shawl. Colors in here. Oh, that's the wrong side. There we go. So colors I used. This is the color I dyed. This is 2 different colors from 398, which is was a local yarn store we no longer have. Into the pink, I think I dyed. Yeah, the pink, hot pink is one that I dyed. And then this big piece right here, that is some Nitrous Camo from Here in Color Dye Works. That is like one of my favoriteest colorways in the world. But where I was going with all of this is Stephen West revamped the pattern, and he made a little mini Vertices Unite. I'll see if I can put a picture of it in here. And you can pretty much make a swatch, but not so much a swatch for gauge, a swatch for your colors. So you can take little bitty pieces, and I'm totally going to be making one of those this weekend. Like, that is one of my big goals, is to make just a little tiny, I don't know what scraps I'm going to use, but it's going to be fun. So if you haven't made the shawl, definitely recommend it. Nothing on there is hard. It is modular. So like you start with, I think you start with this big piece here. And once you've done that, then I don't remember the order it goes in, but it's modular. So you work one section and the next, and then other than that, it's just got some stripes in it. The I-cord border, I did 2-color, grabbed some green and the pink. I did this because when I made this, a whole bunch of people that I was following on Instagram and YouTube all kind of made it at the same time. And Lisa of 72 Stitches, she did a 2-color bind off. Hers was black and white because that was her thing. And I'm like, that sounds fun. And it's work to do 2 colors on an I-cord bind off, but look how cool it looks. Okay. That's that. Sorry to do a little bit of a tangent. So that is all the yarn related things that I have. Next up, we're going to do a little bit of books because I'm really trying to get better at the book thing. I finished 2 books this week. I finished Beyond by Mercedes Lackey. That is like a prequel for the Heralds of Valdemar. Like high fantasy, it's great. I think it's high fantasy. It's fantasy of some kind. Then the more interesting read that I finished was The House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. That book was different. It's like, it was good. It was good. It did not make sense. I'm reading it, I'm like, okay, this is good, this is interesting, there's all sorts of stuff going on, but what is happening? Why is this happening? And then all of a sudden, things happen, and then the end of it, you're like, OMG, what just happened? Definitely still recommend reading it. I think the third book comes out next week, so I know it's really popular right now. I will definitely be reading the second and third once I get them, because I use Libby, and wait till I get them from my library, because I'm not much one for buying books that I don't know if I'm going to reread, so I have to read it once before I decide if I want to buy it, if that makes sense. So finish those two. Books I started, Into the West, which is book 2 on the, I guess it's the founding of Valdemar, is what it is. So I'm listening to book 2 on that one, and then I haven't really started anything, so I was digging through my things I hadn't finished yet, and I'm reading Midlife Soul Hunter, by Shannon Mayer. That is a really fun series. It's on Kindle Unlimited, so if you have that subscription, it's free. And it's called the 40 Proof series, and the main character is like 41. Something like that. Like, it is a supernatural, whatchamacallit, but the main character is a grown-up. It's not some 17 to 22-year-old like a lot of the other books are. So that definitely makes it interesting, and it's still fun. Like, I like Shannon Mayer. She's really good on how she writes stuff, so something to look into if you're interested. That's it. I don't know how fast I did this. I was trying to go fast, but not too fast, so we'll see what happens. But I do also want to thank everybody for watching. Subscribers. I've gotten a lot of new subscribers the past couple weeks, so I really do appreciate everybody and however you found me. Hopefully you stick around and see what other fun things that I make. And I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Thank you for watching.